Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine, for a moment, a country that boasts the largest vineyard area in the entire world.
Huge, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's a top 3 global wine producer, yet somehow its incredible wine tourism often feels like this. Well, this delightful secret waiting just for you to uncover. That, my friend, is Spain. We're about to uncork a truly vibrant, ancient, and endlessly diverse world of Spanish wine and Enotourism.
And what truly strikes me really about Spain is how its dramatic geography. I mean, you've got everything from the windswept Atlantic coasts to the sun-baked Central Plains and even volcanic islands.
Right.
How all that translates into just an astonishing spectrum of wines and, frankly, unforgettable experiences.
So our mission today.
Our mission today is to give you that essential shortcut, to being well-informed, helping you navigate this rich, complex mosaic of climates, soils, traditions, navigate it with confidence.
Yeah, and we've gathered a fantastic collection of sources for this deep dive. We're exploring everything from Spain's fascinating regions, its ancient history, its unique grapes,
The grapes. Yes.
and all the practical tips you'll need for your own wine adventure if you decide to go.
And hopefully you'll walk away with those aha moments, understanding the stark regional differences, maybe some surprising impacts of history, where, avant-garde architecture meets the vine, that kind of thing, and tailored planning advice, too, to make any journey feel seamless.
Okay, so we're going to journey through how millennia of history shaped these lands, really get a taste of some iconic grapes,
Yes.
and even uncover where art and innovation merge with the vine in the most unexpected ways. So what does this all mean for your next adventure? Let's find out. Spain's relationship with wine isn't just long. It's a millennia-old love affair, a thread woven deeply into its very fabric. Can you take us back to those very first chapters?
Absolutely. The tale begins surprisingly early. We're talking around the 11th century BC. Wow.
Yeah, when the Phoenicians introduced viticulture to the coasts of Andalusia. Just think about that wine's been cultivated here for over 3,000 years.
Incredible.
Then the Romans arrived. And with their vast empire and, let's be honest, an insatiable thirst for wine,
Yes.
they expanded vineyards exponentially, what they called Hispania. And this really solidified wine not just as a beverage, but as a major economic driver, a cornerstone of the culture.
That's an incredible lineage. But what's really striking to me is the resilience, how winemaking persisted through all the historical shifts Spain's seen. How did it manage, for instance, during the centuries of Moorish rule?
It's a testament to adaptation, really. Even during, nearly 8 centuries of Moorish rule, wine production wasn't entirely extinguished, despite the religious prescriptions.
Okay.
It was certainly limited, but crucially, it was often permitted for medicinal uses, for commercial reasons, even for export, which just shows its economic and practical importance beyond just consumption.
Right. But the true game changer, the moment that profoundly reshaped Spanish wine, that came much later, in the 19th century.
Oh, you're talking about the phylloxera crisis in France.
Exactly. That tiny, devastating insect wiped out the vast majority of French vineyards. A catastrophe.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is how this disaster for France became this unexpected catalyst for Spain. Many French winemakers facing ruin, they migrated south, particularly to regions like Rioja.
Ah, interesting.
And they brought with them not just phylloxera-resistant rootstocks, which were vital, but also modern winemaking techniques, things that were revolutionary at the time. It really accelerated Spain's industry into the modern era.
So that spirit of adaptation, then, of melding tradition with innovation, that continued long after the Romans and phylloxera, didn't it?
Yeah.
How do we see that playing out today in Spain's vineyards and wineries?
Oh, it's an ongoing evolution, absolutely. Today, Spain beautifully balances that rich ancient tradition with, cutting-edge technology. Wineries are increasingly adopting sustainable viticulture practices, working with the land rather than against it. You'll see temperature-controlled stainless steel tanks for precision fermentation right alongside sometimes ancient concrete vats.
Right.
It allows for this meticulous control over quality and style. It truly is a blend of the old and the new, ensuring both, environmental protection and the production of just world-class wines.
Moving from history to geography, then.
Yeah.
Spain is often called a mosaic. That term keeps popping up.
Yeah.
When we think about its vast, complex territory, what does that mosaic really mean for its wines? And for our listeners, how does this idea of terroir, that combination of climate, soil, human influence, how does that really shape what ends up in your glass?
It's the very soul of Spanish wine. It really is. You
Mhm.
have the towering Pyrenees, the Sierra Nevada, other mountain ranges. They carve out these incredibly distinct microclimates across the country.
Okay.
And when we talk about terroir, we're referring to this intricate interplay, all those natural and human factors that give a wine its singular character. So, yeah, let's maybe paint a picture of how these geographical shifts translate directly into the glass.
I love that idea how the land itself kind of imprints on the wine. Can
Yeah.
you walk us through those distinct geographical zones, how they leave their unique signature?
Certainly. Okay, first, imagine the north and northwest, regions like Galicia. Here, you're under a strong Atlantic influence.
Right. Cooler.
Cooler, more humid air, plenty of rain. This results in those incredibly fresh, vibrant white wines, often with a delightful salinity. Think crisp Albariños, just bursting with citrus and like sea spray notes.
Sounds refreshing.
Then, as you move inland, to the central Meseta, the heart of the country, you hit the continental extreme.
Big contrast.
Huge contrast. We're talking scorching hot summers, bitterly cold winters. It's not easy for vines. It forces them to dig incredibly deep for water, for nutrients.
Okay.
And the result, concentrated, structured reds, like the powerful Tempranillos from Ribera del Duero, often with notes of dark fruit, firm tannins, real structure.
Right.
And finally, along the east and south coasts, the Mediterranean warmth takes over. Long, sunny summers, softer winters. This tends to yield riper, fruitier wines, often with a softer acidity, from places like Catalonia, Valencia. Each zone tells a completely different story in the bottle.
That's a fantastic overview of climate.
Yeah.
But what about the specific soils? How do they contribute? Are there any standout soil types that are particularly famous in Spain?
Oh, absolutely. The soil is arguably just as crucial as the climate. In Juras, for instance, you have the famous Albariza soil. It's this stark white limestone, looks almost like chalk.
I have seen pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Very distinctive.
Very. And what's so unique is its incredible ability to retain winter rains and then slowly release that moisture to the vines during the long, dry summer. Absolutely crucial for the distinct sherry wines produced there.
Okay.
Or take Priorat, completely different. You have llicorella soil, this dramatic dark slate and quartz. It acts like a natural solar panel, basically.
Why? How so?
It absorbs heat during the day and radiates it back at night, accelerating grape maturation. That, combined with its poor fertility, forces roots incredibly deep. The result is those powerful, mineral-driven wines renowned for their intensity, their longevity.
Oh.
Galicia, as you mentioned earlier, has acidic, well-draining granite soils, perfect for those crisp albariños. And for those great age-worthy reds in Rioja and Ribera del Duero, it's often a rich clay and limestone combination. Provides ideal conditions for structure, for aging potential. Soil is key.
And as these unique soils and climates sculpt the land, they also, I guess, dictate which grapes really thrive. Spain, as you might imagine, must be a treasure trove of varietals. I heard something like over 600 native grapes.
That's right. It's an incredible diversity. But if we're highlighting the stars, the ones you really need to know, Tempranillo is unequivocally the queen.
The queen, okay.
Often considered the heart of Spanish red wine. What's fascinating is how Tempranillo acts almost like a chameleon. It expresses itself so differently across regions, from the sort of bold elegance of Rioja to the powerful structure of Ribera del Duero. It's known for its versatility, its aging potential. Notes of cherry, tobacco, leather often come through.
Classic.
Then there's Albariño from Galicia. We mentioned it, vibrant acidity, intense citrus, often that hint of mineral salinity, so refreshing. Garnacha, or Grenache as many know it, thrives in places like Priorat in the east. It produces fruity, sometimes quite potent wines, red fruit, spice notes.
Okay.
And for the unique fortified wines of Jerez sherry, you have Palomino. It's actually quite a neutral base grape, which allows the specific aging processes, the floor or oxidation, to really shine. A truly unsung hero, Palomino. And we should also give a quick mention to others, like Graciano adds complexity and aroma to blends. Monastrell for robustness in warmer climes. Verdejo for aromatic, sometimes slightly herbaceous whites. And Spain has even successfully adapted international grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Chardonnay, often blending them with native varietals for some incredible results.
Right. So with all this foundational knowledge, the history, the terroir, the key grapes, let's now journey to the beating heart of Spain's wine story, the diverse regions themselves. Where should we kick off this curated tour?
There's really no better place to start than Rioja. It's Spain's most renowned wine region, internationally anyway, and truly a temple to that Tempranillo grape we just talked about.
Oh.
It's often divided into three subregions, Rioja Alta, Alavesa, and Oriental, which used to be called Rioja Baja. Each contributes subtle nuances to the final blend. But what truly sets Rioja apart, and is a unique insight into the Spanish winemaking philosophy, is its signature aging classification system.
Yes, tell us about that. Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva. These terms are more than just labels on a bottle, aren't they? They mean something specific.
Exactly. They're not just about age. They're a guarantee of quality and, perhaps more importantly, a distinct stylistic philosophy. These classifications outline minimum aging times, both in barrel and in bottle, dictating the journey the wine takes before it reaches you.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, a Crianza, for example, has at least 2 years of aging, with at least 1 year in oak. It's designed generally for vibrant fruit, subtle oak notes, a more immediate kind of pleasure.
Right.
Reserva wines require 3 years of aging, again with at least 1 year in oak. They develop greater complexity, ripe fruit, spice notes, more layers.
Mm-hmm.
And Gran Reserva, that's the pinnacle. It's typically only produced in exceptional vintages, requiring a minimum of 5 years, aging 2 in oak and 3 in bottle. This leads to profound depth, elegance, notes of dried fruit, maybe balsamic hints.
So it's not necessarily that one is better, just different styles.
Precisely. It's less about one being better than the other and more about different expressions for different moments, different foods. And the choice between American and French oak also plays a crucial role here. American oak often gives those vanilla coconut notes, while French oak tends towards finer spices, more elegant tannins.
Fascinating. And beyond the glass, Rioja is also an amazing place to visit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about some truly jaw-dropping architectural marvels there connected to wineries.
It absolutely is. And this is where art meets the vine in the most, well, unexpected ways. Imagine visiting Marqués de Riscal. They have a hotel designed by Frank Gehry.
The Guggenheim architect.
The very same, a titanium masterpiece. Its undulating roof reflects the shifting colors of wine, pinks, golds, purples. It's stunning. Or Bodegas, designed by Santiago Calatrava. Its futuristic, wave-like lines mirror the surrounding Sierra de Cantabria mountains.
Wow.
And let's not forget the historic colados. These are ancient underground cellars, some dating back centuries, carved directly into the rock beneath the towns. It's a sensory feast on every level, visually and historically. Yeah.
And the food. What would you pair with these iconic Rioja reds to complete the picture?
The gastronomy. To complete the Rioja experience, the local food perfectly complements these wines. Think cordero asado, succulent roast lamb, or patatas a la riojana, a comforting potato stew, usually with chorizo, and of course, a variety of high-quality embutidos cured meats. They're all designed to stand up to and beautifully integrate with those structured, often oak-aged Rioja reds. A perfect match.
Okay, from the traditional heart of Rioja, let's shift east to Catalonia. A region you mentioned has this fascinating duality, from sparkling Cava to powerful Priorat. What makes this region so dynamic?
Catalonia truly offers two almost polar opposite wine experiences. In Penedès, you find Cava, Spain's renowned sparkling wine. It's crafted using the traditional method, the same method as champagne.
Right.
And what's a really surprising fact here, something quite unique, is visiting wineries like Codorníu. They boast a UNESCO World Heritage modernist cellar. It's incredible. And you can even take an electric train tour through its vast, labyrinthine underground cellars.
Green. Underground.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of the sheer scale of Cava production. It's pretty grand.
Okay, that's the bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
What about the other side? Priorat.
Then, in stark contrast, just a bit further south, you have Priorat. This is where that unique llicorella soil we talked about, the dark slate and quartz, creates an almost magical intensity. It forces old Garnacha and Carignana vines, really old vines sometimes, to dig incredibly deep for survival. And this yields powerful, concentrated, mineral-driven wines, incredibly long-lived wines, too. They're a world away from Cava's refreshing bubbles. These are wines that demand contemplation.
A real contrast, then. And for this Catalan mosaic of flavors, what are we putting on the plate? What are the pairings?
The culinary scene there is a delight. Pan con tomate, simple, rustic, but utterly essential. Slices of bread rubbed with fresh tomato and good olive oil.
Can't beat it.
Never. Calçotes, grilled green onions served with a rich romesco sauce, are a fantastic seasonal highlight, usually in late winter spring. And Botifarra sausage is a flavorful, traditional option that pairs beautifully with the richer reds, especially from Montsant or Priorat itself.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Now let's journey further south to Andalusia and the magical, complex world of Jerez. This is a region famous for something entirely unique in the wine world, isn't it, Sherry?
It is, and what's truly unique here is the production method itself. Sherry, as it's known internationally, is crafted predominantly from the Palomino grape, quite neutral, as we said,
Right.
and it undergoes two main aging methods, fundamentally different. There's biological aging under flor. This fascinating layer of yeast, flor, forms on the surface of the wine in the burl. It protects it from oxygen.
It's like a blanket.
Kind of, yeah, like a living veil. And it imparts these delicate, savory, yeasty, sometimes saline notes you find in Fino and Manzanil styles. Very dry, very distinct. Then there's oxidative aging, without the flor. This creates richer styles like Oloroso and Amontillado, which develop nutty, dried fruit, caramel characteristics from exposure to air.
And what about Palo Cortado? Here, that mentioned is something special.
Ah, Palo Cortado. It's rare, sort of enigmatic. It typically starts aging under flor, like a Fino, but then the flor dies off or is fortified away, and the wine continues aging oxidatively. So it combines the aromatic elegance of an Amontillado with some of the body and richness of an Oloroso. Really intriguing wines.
And all these are aged using the Solera system. Can you explain that briefly?
Yes, the Solera system, it's key to sherry's consistency. Imagine rows of barrels called criaderas stacked on top of each other. Wine for bottling is drawn from the bottom row, the Solera row, which contains the oldest blend.
Okay.
Then that bottom row is replenished with slightly younger wine from the row above it, and that row from the one above it, and so on. The youngest wine goes into the top row. It's a dynamic blending process across generations of wine, ensuring a consistent house style year after year. It's quite brilliant, actually.
That floor sounds fascinating, like a living veil. And if our listeners want to truly immerse themselves in this sherry culture, beyond just tasting in a bodega, what's a local experience they shouldn't miss?
If you want authentic immersion, you absolutely must seek out a tabanco. These are traditional sherry bars unique to the Jerez region. You can often drink sherry poured straight from the barrel.
Ah, cool.
Often accompanied by spontaneous flamenco performances. It's not just about the drink. It's a vibrant, truly authentic cultural experience, often bustling with locals. It's fantastic.
And the food pairings for sherry must be equally unique given the range of styles.
They absolutely are. Fino and Manzanilla, with their crisp, salty notes, are just perfect, with gnomo iberico, olives, almonds, fried fish, all kinds of tapas. The richer Oloroso and Amontillado styles shine with things like matured cheeses or hearty stews, even game. And for a truly indulgent experience, the sweet Pedro Ximénez, or PX as it's known, made from dried grapes. It's intense. Raisin, fig, molasses notes. It's an unbeatable match for rich desserts like chocolate cake or even just poured over good vanilla ice cream.
Oh, wow. Okay, finally, let's turn our attention to one of Spain's most, well, surprising and visually stunning wine regions.
Oh.
The Canary Islands. Wines from a volcano. What makes winemaking here so distinctive?
This is where the landscape itself really becomes the story. What's genuinely unique here is the volcanic terroir. I mean, literally, vines are often planted directly into the black volcanic ash known as picon or lapilli.
Just straight into the ash.
Pretty much. And this isn't just picturesque. It played a crucial historical role. That ash provided natural protection against the phylloxera pest that devastated mainland European vineyards in the 19th century.
So the Laos couldn't survive there.
Exactly. Which means many native grapes, like Listan Negro and Malvasia volcanica, often grow on their own original rootstocks. Pai Franco, they call it. They weren't grafted onto American rootstock like almost everywhere else in Europe.
So effectively, you're tasting wine from ungrafted pre-phylloxera vines. That's an extraordinary historical connection.
It really is. It potentially preserves their pure, original varietal expression. It offers a taste of what many ancient European wines might have tasted like before phylloxera hit.
Incredible. And the landscapes themselves are as distinctive as the wines, aren't they? I've seen pictures from Lanzarote.
Oh, absolutely. In Lanzarote, for example, you'll find the almost lunar landscapes of Liguria. Individual vines are planted in these pits dug into the black ash, each protected by a little semicircular stone wall called a soco.
By the wall.
To protect them from the relentless winds blowing across the island, and also, ingeniously, to help collect precious morning dew. And then you have Tenerife, a much larger mountainous island. It offers incredibly diverse altitudes, creating a whole range of microclimates. This yields a spectrum of unique wines, from crisp whites to really intriguing reds, all often with this distinct mineral smoky streak from the volcanic soils.
Amazing. Okay. With all this rich history and regional diversity unveiled, the natural next step is, how do you turn this knowledge into an unforgettable journey? Let's talk practical tips for planning your Spanish wine adventure. First off, when's the best time to visit?
That's a key question for planning, definitely. The vendima, the harvest season, which is typically August to October, depending on the region, that's a time of peak activity.
Pros and cons to that.
Well, the pro is you get unique experiences like seeing grape picking, maybe fermentation starting firsthand. The buzz is incredible. The con, it can be busy. And winemakers are, understandably, very focused.
Right.
Spring, say, April, May, and autumn, maybe September, October, just after harvest starts to wind down, generally provide milder temperatures, absolutely beautiful landscapes, vineyards turning green or gold, and usually fewer crowds. So they're often excellent times for a more relaxed trip.
Okay. And how should one navigate these regions? Some wineries, I imagine, can be quite remote.
You're right, flexibility can be key. Renting a cart offers the maximum freedom. It's perfect for reaching those more tucked-away wineries and exploring villages at your own pace. But Spain's high-speed train network, the AVE, is incredibly efficient for traveling between major cities like Madrid, Barcelona, Seville. From those hubs, you can often connect with local transport, taxis, or perhaps join day tours.
And what about organized tours?
For a truly hassle-free experience, especially if you don't want to drive or navigate, specialized wine tours are a fantastic option. They often provide expert guides, curated itineraries, and sometimes exclusive access to top bodegas that might be harder to arrange independently.
Good point.
Yeah.
And where to stay? Are there unique accommodation options beyond a standard hotel that really enhance the wine theme?
Oh, definitely. You have some fantastic choices. Spain's paradors are state-run hotels, often set in beautifully converted castles, monasteries, or palaces. They offer a unique blend of luxury and history, often in stunning locations.
Nice.
Many boutique hotels are now nestled right in the vineyards themselves. Some even offer vinotherapy treatments.
Vinotherapy, so like bathing in wine.
Well, maybe not quite bathing in it, but using wine extracts, grape seeds, oils for spa treatments, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Or for a more authentic, perhaps rustic and charming experience, consider staying in a rural house, a casa rural. Often family-run, great local insight.
Okay, great options. Finally, to help you feel like a true insider on your journey, let's quickly cover maybe 2 or 3 essential Spanish wine terms you'll undoubtedly encounter.
Good idea. Indeed. Firstly, bodega. You'll hear this everywhere. It isn't just a cellar or a shop. In the wine context, it refers to the entire winery. The whole operation from the vineyards and grape crushing facilities to the fermentation tanks and aging caves or cellars.
Got it. Bodega, winery.
Pretty much. Secondly, denominación de origen, often abbreviated as DO or sometimes DOCA for the highest tier like Rioja and Priorat. We mentioned this earlier, but it's the strict classification system guaranteeing the quality and geographical origin of Spanish wines. It dictates everything from permitted grapes to aging minimums. It's a powerful seal of quality and authenticity.
Right, the quality guarantee.
Exactly. And thirdly, a word we've used throughout our deep dive, terroir. It's that crucial concept, that complete set of natural and human factors, the climate, the soil, the topography, the altitude, even traditional practices that fundamentally influences wine's unique character and gives it a sense of place.
Perfect. Bodega do terroir. Got it. Well, we've journeyed through millennia of history. We've tasted, metaphorically anyway, the unique spirit of Spain's diverse terroir, and even peered into the future of wine architecture. What an incredible deep dive into Spanish wine and enotourism.
This truly has been a rich exploration, hasn't it? And it does raise an important question, I think, for you, our listener. With such a vibrant tapestry of experiences laid out, from ancient cellars to avant-garde architecture, and wines nurtured by everything from Atlantic breezes to volcanic ash, what aspect of Spanish enotourism are you most excited to explore next?
That's a good question to ponder. Perhaps the most valuable takeaway from this deep dive isn't just knowing what wine Spain offers, but starting to understand why each glass tells such a unique story. A story of passion, of land, and of time, inviting you really to become a part of its ongoing and very delicious narrative.